It's about to go down. Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend Morning Show is back. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Sean, that's me, Jay Black.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.
We the worst records, baby. We about to create a perfectly horrible song. Y'all know I've been in the gym, and now all I wear is tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do. Michael Sean wears tight shirts every day. I wear tight shirts because I'm working out some. And if I wear the right size, you won't see none of my little cuts in my arms or whatever. Short sleeve tight shirts in any type of weather. People talking trans when they see me in the street.
Your shirt's so tight, we can see your heartbeat.
Man, clown me if you want, I'm sticking to my guns. And when December comes, it's gonna be fun. You can crack jokes and treat me like a jerk, but one day you'll see my six-pack right through my shirt. And even if I wanted to, I just can't stop. I just might rock an Ezekiel crop top.
Whoa.
What? Did I take it too far? What?
Yes.
Whatever. Tight shirts in the morning at work and when I creep. I even wear tight pajama tops when I sleep. Tight shirts. Tight shirts. Tight shirts. Yeah. Tight shirts. Come on. Tight shirts. Come on. Tight shirts. Come on. Tight shirts. Every day. My son wears tight shirts. To the gym or wherever. Tight shirts. Tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, Michael. Morning, ladies and gentlemen, we are super duper, super duper, duper, super, super duper, duper, super duper, super duper, super, super duper, duper, super, super duper, super, super, super duper, super, super, super duper, super, super late. Get feelings on here. Dr. Aaron Smith is in the building. We are super. He was super early. I was super early. I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning. They said it was going to take 13 hours to download, and that normally means it's going to be like 4 or 5 hours. And that's the story. I'm sticking to it because it's the truth. I'm sticking to it because it's the truth. Shout out to everybody on here. I see y'all popped on. Thank you for everybody who was hitting me up. Like, is there a show today? Is there a show today? I was like, yeah, there's a show, and I'm mad. I asked for help, and I will just have to do this at night. I thought if I woke up at 5 in the morning, I started it. All right, Dr. Aaron Smith, aka Fearless. How was your Juneteenth weekend? How's everything been? Anything going on? How was last night? How was yesterday? That's what I normally ask Jay Black.
Oh no, all is well. I went to the kickoff for Philadelphia's celebration from Juneteenth through to the July 4th celebration. So Philadelphia's done something really cool where they've connected Juneteenth and July 4th. Historically, of course, they should be, this whole notion of freedom. It makes perfect sense. But in recent years, Philadelphia has began the celebrations by having a Juneteenth block party at the African American Museum of Philadelphia. And we have 16 days of programming all the way through to the Welcome America July 4th. So every day there's something going on in the city, like big major events, free museum events, speakers, festivals. So yeah, Philadelphia definitely is the hub and the world center for the July 4th Juneteenth celebrations right now.
Wait a second, hold up.
Yeah, so WRD was out there with all the vendors. They had Kiki Wyatt, Kid Capri, with a whole bunch of people. Slick Rick even was out there. Like, they had a whole big concert. It was major. And then I went to Montclair, New Jersey 2 days later for another festival for Juneteenth. And I missed the one on Sunday at Malcolm X Park. But yeah, it's just been Juneteenth events, And upcoming, we have a big event on Germantown Avenue raising money for WRTI, and they call it the Cash Mob Movement. We're trying to use a lot of community funding. And I'll be hosting again at the African American Museum on Monday. I'll be there for.
What time is that? What time does that take place?
I think at 1 o'clock. I'll be broadcasting live on Monday at the African American Museum. I'll double check right now just to not mislead anybody.
Hey, Philly. Hey, shout to y'all. Shout out to Philly.
Oh, no, they're doing the business night. It's a beautiful season. Yeah, one to two. I'll be on there. We got a big telethon to reach the goal on Monday. and I'll be at the African American Museum in Philadelphia. But yes, it's a great time just for people to come out. You know, everybody's family event, the kids, the elders, everybody was safe and celebrating and just not getting trolled. I know a lot of times with Martin Luther King Day and different events, you know, people do crazy stuff and they get too much attention. So it was good to see people just focused on the right stuff.
All right, so that is super dope. Obviously, we talked about it yesterday. I did the Juneteenth thing in Dallas, and which has always been huge out there. But this is the first I heard of. I don't know. I mean, obviously, we don't do any research here other than Dr. Aaron Smith. I don't know if this is happening throughout the country where they're actually celebrating all the way to July 4th, which is amazing. Which is a really amazing. I hate to use the word strategy, but I'll use the word celebration to actually give more people time to get aware. Those who are just like, it happens and then you don't take part in it. But if it's in your face all the time, you might get the curious type that go, all right, let me see what this is about.
And the Black history is American history.
Exactly. And something like that. Listen, man, I always say, unfortunately, in a capitalist society, the key to anything is marketing. No matter what it is, it's marketing and spreading the word about things. That's why I always said, when people were like, people who are against abortion or, you know, who are pro-life, I always said, then market it. Market it. Get your celebrities to market, not to demonize people who take part in abortion. Don't demonize. Market it on why you should have the kids.
Yeah, certain sides have better PR.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? like don't try and make people, telling people they're going to hell is not a good marketing plan anymore. Like it's the market, the blessing of what you feel you attain when you have the child. It's marketing. Give people, this is what we are. This is what we've been programmed to be. Somebody brings something to you, explains it, whether bad or good. That's the way you reach the people.
And there's new opportunities with artificial intelligence.
Right.
You ever see online where they say, imagine how your child would look? And they'll be like, if Michael Sean had a baby with Rihanna, and they'll like take your pictures and they can make a baby now. Can you imagine somebody going to a consultation in the pro-life center and being like, oh, this is you? Let me see a picture of your boyfriend. And they'd be like, hey, touch the screen right here and listen to your baby talk to you. And it'd be like, thank you for sparing my life, mommy. Like, there's so many things. I'm just thinking of ways that can really touch home, because that would hit me. I'd be like, wait a minute, we can't go through with this. Give me my back.
That's the good part of AI, but you know, they use it for good and it's really for bad. But I get it. But I get it.
Meet Aaron Jr. And he'd be like,
that would be different.
Wait to see you.
That would be that. Now, see, that'd
be a good one. And no kids are harmed or no child labor, right? It's all AI.
Just don't do Rihanna with me, because that forehead has no chance. My forehead and her forehead.
Yeah, push it back.
You see this?
You might be like, here's another 300. Here's another 300. Just to make sure. Just to make sure everything
y'all got
works.
Cash App. Y'all got Zelle.
Okay, came to the wrong. It backfired. The marketing scheme backfired.
But that is a brilliant. That is yeah. That could change a lot.
Yeah, it might work on some people. Send them emails and stuff. Hey, it's me.
Yeah. Hi, Dad.
Hi. Can't wait to see you. I heard you felt my heartbeat yesterday.
Oh shit! You just slamming laptops closed. You like, hey!
like you watching porn. Hey, wait. I said, what are you doing there, Mike? Nothing.
Who is that?
I think you're cheating.
It's dark.
I was trying to cheat life. I was trying to cheat.
I want to see it. That's the whole point. That's why I don't go in the room when it happens.
Cheating biology.
All right, let me get to these. As you can see, 1 year of sobriety. I've been there. I'm celebrating 1 year of sobriety. I've celebrated 5 years. I've celebrated 6 months. I've celebrated 5 years was the most. 3 years. I've been down this road before, but I'm going to celebrate it. I don't like to get caught up in numbers, because I don't like people to get stressed out over when people see other people being sober for an amount of time. It can sometimes intimidate you to be like, there is no way. The way you feel at that moment in the middle of it, like, there ain't no way I'm making it to. You ain't got to
celebrate 1 week right now.
Yeah, celebrate 1 day. Celebrate. We celebrate about an hour when you first go into these meetings. An hour is a good thing.
I got you.
But I will, that is celebrating that, and I thank God in a real way. This year has been incredible. Even through the lows, it's been incredible. Like, it's been incredible how I've been able to interpret what I normally would perceive as something bad, be able to analyze it and to go like, I tell the story every day when I was working overtime, not every day, but I've told it a bunch of times. I was working overtime at my job, and I had my BMW, and it was weird because I don't know if I told you this before. I had like some expensive stuff that I had from Dallas when I lost the job and I moved back, and I was still struggling with the alcohol and everything like that. And it was weird that little by little these things were going away, not because I had to sell them. They just somehow or another got taken. Like the jewelry that I had was actually shipped to me here.
Okay.
When the mailman dropped it off, it was in a bubble mailer, which never, ever ship jewelry in anything small. I don't care if it's a necklace. I don't care if it's a watch. You wrap it up in bubble wrap and you put it in a big ass box and you put a bunch of stuff in it. Anyway, that's simply because people who are transporting this, people who are in the hubs we know. I know a lot of times when I grab a package, what could be in it. Anyway, the mailman dropped it off and it was open. And the few $1,000 necklace was gone. And the mailman gave it to my mom and was like, I saw this. You need to file a report.
Wow.
So it was gone. So basically everything, bit by bit, things disappeared. Like somehow or another in that story. That had nothing to do with it. Somebody jacked me for it at the hub. Somebody got it. And it had an NY medallion on it that was, studded out and all that other good stuff. So I'm working overtime and I'm working these hours. I'm working tremendous hours. And my BMW basically is the last symbolic thing I have of, traditional, you were doing it. People see you in a BMW, it was nice and everything like that. Well, I'm working overtime. I leave and I'm driving down a busy street and a deer comes out and hits my car. And it doesn't hit nobody else. Hits my car.
Like running? Deer just...
I didn't see it. It was so fast it went bow. And next,
that's funny because everybody always says I hit a deer. You like, no, the deer hit me.
The deer hit me. I didn't see nothing, right? So anyway, bottom line is the car is totaled. That is the last symbolic thing I had from Dallas. Okay, so I want to be clear, y'all, when I tell y'all this. That was the last symbolic. From that moment, my financial situation has changed for the positive since that moment. Everything has fallen in line. It's almost, to me, y'all may think it's a stretch. To me, it was almost like God said, I'm taking everything that you got based on that life that you were living. It has nothing to do with Dallas, but the life that I was living. And that was the final thing. That was the last thing I held on to, that my ego could be like, when I'm driving around, you know what it is.
How you know what it is? Just to be like, you ain't up on this.
You know what it is. So, and I say that because I was able to detect that the minute it happened. The minute it happened, I said, God, I was doing everything right. I was working OT. I'm sober. And
what's the problem?
What's the problem? And then I was like, oh, there is no problem. Oh, you needed, that had to go.
You're like a cleansing.
Exactly. And when the cops came, I remember thinking, damn, they're gonna run my license. I hope I ain't got no problems going on. I really did. But when the cops came, by the time the cops got here, I was good. I was like, oh, this is part of this plan. This is part of the plan. Truth be told, I didn't know I had the gap insurance. And then I'm going to get right to y'all good mornings. I didn't know I had gap insurance. I had no idea, dog. So I thought I was going to get $2,000. I said, I'm going to have to, it's going to be a struggle. Well, they sent me a check. When I get the check covers what I need to cover and get me in a new car and the whole nine, and have money to spare, and began that car getting crashed, started the foundation of I still have, because I calculate I'm ridiculous. I still have half of the money that was given to me from the car wreck that is still in my savings right now.
Oh, nice.
So that was the foundation of the building.
Did you a favor?
Yes.
A blessing, I should say.
It was a blessing. So I was like, okay. So that being said, I couldn't have seen that quickly if I was still in the fog and in the middle of the disease called alcoholism and addiction. I wouldn't have seen that. It took me 15 minutes. By the time the cops came, I was good. I was like, oh, it is what it is. I get it. I understood it.
You safe. It's just the car. All that start kicking in.
It's all that. It's all that. And I just, I thank God for being in a situation. I thank you guys for always being here. And I'm sorry we started late, but you already know what it is. Just upload them. So I'm gonna have to do it the night before, like I told myself I was gonna do to make this happen. All right, let me get to everybody in the comments. Let me get to everybody. I know y'all got some slick talk. So you know what I wanted to say? You were saying Slick Rick. Slick Rick has a critically acclaimed album that I actually streamed yesterday, that I downloaded yesterday, that the young people love. Well, let's try this again. Yep, exactly. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'll talk about that Slick Rick thing. Morning, Nikki White Chocolate, Miss Clark, thank you for the phone call. Miss Parker, thank you for the phone call. Nikki, what's up? Good morning. Did I get to everybody? Well, it said it had a lot more comments. Did I miss? I missed a bunch of them. Ashabu says, good morning, Dr. Smith. Kindly send me the Juneteenth lineup. Good morning. What is Second Street? Juneteenth parade. I celebrated people get involved. Shout out to you. Still got more text messages coming in. Let me see if I missed y'all. I like to get everybody in here. Got that. And while I'm talking, hey, Dr. Smith, quick question. While I'm talking,
Yes,
are you a forgiving person, John?
Yeah. Because when you asked me, I thought about maybe the 3 people that I don't forgive, but that's not the majority. Like, that's not the dominant sentiment. Usually it's like, you know what? Plus, I always think about the cost. I had somebody run off with some money a little while back. And it was like, what do you really do? Because if you go like hunt somebody down, your life is over. Like, there's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, once somebody they are to you and they really did you dirty, it's like you can go get them back, but that, like, you sets in motion a whole nother chain of events that, a year or 2 or 10, depending on what you do to them, or 20, right? Could have you sitting there like, you know what? I got beat out of some money and I probably should have just chalked it, because trying to get my lick back, you'd be, like a lot of these rappers in jail and dead trying to get revenge. So yeah, no, overall, I've learned that the whole vengeance is mine, save the Lord. And honestly, even with the situations overseas, we see people bombing people and you're like, oh, what's going to happen? Then you see them getting bombed. If you just sit back and let God work it out, you'd be surprised. Like, even now with all this leadership stuff nationally, I think that there's going to be a serious calamity. And it's, even with the deportations, you've seen in recent, in the past year, I've seen a lot of people who are on top or pushing an agenda or supporting something, regretful and remorseful without me doing anything. I didn't have to say anything mean to them. I didn't have to get them back. I didn't have to promise that they pay for it. All I had to do was sit back and let them do what they're doing. And I see bombs getting dropped. I see deportations. I see all kinds of things happening. And I think the same thing's going to happen with current leadership. And I'm saying it now before anything happens. So when something happens to current leadership and nobody bats an eye and nobody cares, it's just going to be like, we knew their calamity is going to come suddenly. This pride before the fall. We're looking at a lot of pride out here. Yes. There's a lot of pride, a lot of tough talk, a lot of celebrating people dying and dropping bombs on people and putting people in cages. There's a lot of that tough talk. And I know just people in the street. It's like the Frank Lucas with the chinchilla. When people get to a certain level and they're like, I can't be touched, that's when they're about to get touched. When they start moving, acting, and talking like nothing can happen to them, I brace for the hit, because I know that the next scene in that movie is going to be a big hit. And I'm seeing that right now, where a lot of people are talking so gangster to whole nations with nuclear capabilities. And I'm like, you talk like that if you want, but it's not going to end well for you.
No, those are facts. LaShawn said to your answer, didn't sound too convincing, Dr. Aaron.
Oh, yeah, I had to think about it.
He thought about it. I had to think about it. He thought it.
Plus, Mike, one of the deepest parts is, do you forgive yourself?
I say it all the time.
Because when you said that, I had to be like, you know what, I am. You know what? I made mistakes and all that, but at this age, just like you said, it only takes a few minutes to be like, it is what it is, bro. Like, I'm not gonna beat myself up all day because of what I did yesterday. Like, if it didn't work out, I really do wake up the next day like, another chance. Let's go.
Another chance. Let's go. Forgiving yourself, and I've said it. I made an Instagram post. Forgiving people and forgiving. The act of forgiving isn't for the other person.
Mm-hmm.
It's for you. It's for you. You ain't even got to tell somebody you forgave them.
That's true.
You don't even have to convey it to them. I see this person randomly. I see this person randomly, like every once in a while, and I'm actually nice to the person. When old me would have been like, this should be a problem.
Trying to give some shade, stare
And not
down
a
at
physical
least.
problem, but this should be like, listen,
Bad energy.
Do me a favor. When you see me, like this is the casual, the old me. When you see me, can we stop saying hi when we know what you did?
Mm.
Can you do me? But even that is not forgiving. So when I see this person, I say, what's up? I ask about the family.
It ain't on you, right?
And I can, what happened. It is what it is. You keep it moving with that. But the forgiveness thing, oh man, forgiveness. So I got an oldie but goodie. I saw these clips on I was scrolling through TikTok. I got so many clips. So tomorrow's gonna be a loaded show. Monty's sick. Monty's asthma's acting up, so she's not gonna be able to do the show today. So just in case, she's got the asthma, she gets that from me. I apologize. I apologize to her every time. I'm like, my bad. You got that from me. That. Yeah, all that creative shit you got that from me. But this breathing, not being able to breathe, yeah, you got that from me too. Fuck. All right, my bad. So forgiveness is crazy. And men,
I just dropped that schedule too, by the way, Mike. The one that the caller asked about. I put it in the private chat so you can post it up when you get a chance.
Let me see.
It's just all the events going on for the next 16 days, the free museums, the block party.
Oh,
they got something called well, I think they already did that one. That was one that I wanted to take the kids to, but I wasn't in town. They had something called the Kidchella Music Festival. So next year I'm gonna make sure I go to that. Like a Coachella for kids at Smith Memorial Playground. That was the day after the block party. So apparently they got this whole festival for children where they go to the playground and they have all the kids artists come out and perform for them. They do games and treats. So if you weren't there this year, make sure next year after that block party kickoff, the Kidchella Festival is a big draw for the young people.
All right, let me write this down. See if I can get that over somehow or another, because I don't know how to just pop that up. Like for some, did it pop up did I pop it up? No, it didn't come up on the screen, did it?
No, I didn't see it.
All right, commercial. Okay, commercial. All right, so I watch these guys talking, and this is the old dudes talk about this. Barbershop sometimes talk about, would you forgive your significant other as a man if she cheated? And that's always the thorn, because the problem is there are a lot of men who have forgiven, but it's not a popular stance to take when you're around everybody, because a lot of dudes
they privately forgave.
They privately forgave, and they're still with her. They might even co-sign, I would never forgive, but they really did forgive. They know they did. They just don't want to bring it up in public.
Well, I don't know if they forgave, but they didn't leave, because some people are in between the two. Some people might not have forgave, but they also didn't leave. So they're in a weird spot. I think most men are in that weird spot, that purgatory, where it's like, cheaper to keep her. We got kids, like the women there. I got to deal with a lot of other things going on. They might want to leave. They might still hold a grudge, but where are you going to go?
But you also have to take account the ones that forgave and are good, and they're not in purgatory.
Yeah, the ones that cheated.
No, the ones that
I'm just joking. I'm joking.
The ones
they're like, what's good for the goose? What's good?
The ones that there are men who are forgiven, who have gone on. Maybe they've gone to couples therapy. Maybe they hashed it out and they got to the core reasons and all that stuff. But listen,
if somebody came clean with me, I think it'd be a lot easier for me. I'll be honest with you. I think the lying might be harder for me than the cheating.
Mm-hmm.
If something came up where something ain't look right and she just like was forthcoming with what happened and been like, you think you're the only one that gets lonely? Like, like those Tyler Perry scenes. But like, if she just basically broke down, it is what it is. I'm not going to try to lie to you. And then I had to deal with it. If somebody just put it on me, like, yeah, you're not the only one who can be outside and walked out the house. Now I'm like, okay, now she's not lying. Now I know I did something too. You know what? When we finally get back right, I could probably put it all behind me. But if you was lying for months, that might be the one that got me.
So you got like most people do, you got stipulations. You got stipulations on how you find out. You got stipulations on who it was with.
You can't be like, I was with your dad or nothing. Like,
you got stipulations, and just like
family reunion was crazy.
But there are men out here who can't speak up and say, I forgave her and I understand what went on. Not the ones in purgatory who says it's keeping it cheaper. See, a lot of dudes that say it's keeping it cheaper because they don't want to admit
That's
they
the
don't
cover.
want.
That's
They
the
don't. That's the
cover.
cover. That's the cover.
you know, it's cheaper to keep a mic. You know, how.
Yeah, that's why I say ain't got nothing to do with me loving her. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Mind you, you could have taken her to the cleaners because she make more money than you. But beside the point. So we got two different examples. So this is the first one. A group of guys asked this question, and he gives this answer right here.
A woman back if they cheated on y'all.
Zero tolerance. I stand on that. Zero tolerance.
So you would divorce them?
Yes, it's over with.
What about you, X? This is real answer. To say, I feel like this, bro. What you said, bro, us men, we hold a lot of trauma in. You know what I'm saying? No. Reason being is that us men, bro, we very territorial. So you ever cringed from the thought of something? That's it. That's what you're gonna always have is that cringe. It's gonna be a bunch of questions and insecurities that come into play, and it's trust issues. It's over with.
Mm-hmm.
It's over with, and you could try your hardest to revamp it and revive it, and it's dead because you ain't gonna get that image out your head. Even though you never seen it, you gonna paint this image in your head. You gonna paint like a lot of men is gonna have this thought: is the nigga bigger than me? Did you do this to this dude? Did you do that? Did he bust in you? Did he go wrong? It's so many thoughts that's gonna run through your mind a mile a minute, and you can't control it, bro. And every time you look at her, you gonna cringe.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna cringe, bro.
So that is one that is a common, and I want to make sure I put Nikki's comment up because I think that is amazing about forgiveness, and not amazing, but I understand your struggle. But let me just stay on this, then I'll go to Nikki's comment about forgiveness. I think a lot of egos, men are I'll say people, but we're talking about men because I think men are built. A big percentage of us are built. A large percentage of what we are is built on an ego.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're hurt. We're hurt from the deception. But for some reason, it's not just that you cheated.
Oh no.
It's our ego goes to what actually took place. And it's probably for me the most unhealthy thing is to deal with somebody who gives you the details that you asked for. Sometimes when a woman says, Mike, that is not the point. The point is
you don't want to know.
The point, and they don't want to say you don't want to know, because then when you say you don't want to know, now you really want to know. It's almost better to just, I want to know why you cheated, who you cheated with, and let's break down the deception. When were you lying to me? When was this taking place? If we get into that's bad enough. When you get into details, and I think the ego is why I guess this is so, like I always say, do not take my advice because I have been part of nothing but relationships that didn't meet the expectations we thought they were going to. So don't take this advice. I just know at that point, I don't want to touch you again.
That's that cringe he was talking about in the clip.
That's that cringe. That's that cringe. How can when you go to kiss somebody, how do you do it? But this is ego because you've done the same thing to other people and you've wanted the forgiveness.
Yeah.
And y'all give me your comments. So that ego is brutal. It is brutal what you will just in your mind, you will go through warfare, destroying yourself, going over and over and over and over. If you know it happened on a Tuesday, you don't even fuck with Tuesdays no more. Like you wake up like, it's Tuesday, that bitch was fucking.
It's Tuesday. Ain't you supposed to be cheating? Ain't you supposed to be out cheating somewhere?
And you got something to do Tuesday?
See, I cooked you breakfast. Did you cook him breakfast? It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Shouldn't you be getting dressed? Shouldn't you be telling me that you getting your hair done for the weekend, but you really getting your hair? Shouldn't you be at the hair salon, right? This is petty. This is this, but it's hurtful. But our ego drives
Yeah, it's the
this.
pain talking.
It's the pain. That's why my answer to this, long story longer, no, I can't. Even though I have assumptions that people I was with did cheat, the fact that I don't know for certain,
Oh yeah, that helps. Yeah,
it helps a lot.
that helps. You know, you always get that hope. You get that 1 ounce of maybe not. Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe it's me.
Maybe
Maybe
walking
it's
on nothing.
yeah. Maybe it's my
I'm tripping.
dirty. I'm tripping. My dirty mentality. Maybe I'm
tripping.
projecting. Maybe I'm projecting. Maybe I'm
Guilty
yeah.
conscience.
Because if I was out till 4 o'clock in the
You
morning,
figure she must have been out. She could have been
Yeah.
asleep.
yeah. Maybe they didn't do that. Maybe it was strictly just sex. Maybe maybe it was just missionary and that was it.
That's always funny. That's what people be saying. They make up a whole scenario. They
Maybe
ain't had no
she-
fun. They ain't no fun.
Maybe she didn't have an orgasm, even though she did it repeatedly.
She was
Maybe
thinking of me. She's thinking of me the whole time. She's thinking of me.
you try and clear your con. Maybe it was what I did that pushed her. She ain't really. She did it because I pushed her away. So we got one. Go ahead.
I was gonna say for some guys, that's all you really have. Like if you're really providing in a relationship, she's not doing a lot of other things for you. Like I've seen women say, "Hey, I'm the main woman. I'm the one who has the house and the life insurance and the kids and he pays my bills. All he did was go and be with you physically. So you got the half hour. You know, you may add him once, but I got him all the time. The boy's mine, right? I've seen women who can really rationalize that way. But for men, it's like this woman ain't paying my bills. This woman ain't protecting me in the middle of the night. All she's doing is being mine. That's all I got. That's like 80%. And maybe the nice thing she does for me in the meantime, some support. But how you support me laying up under or on top of some other dude? Like, I just feel like as a man, when that happens, you lose almost everything.
He got everything she gives you. He got it all.
She gives me, he got. At least the other way around, the woman could say, he ain't paying your bills, B. He ain't got no kids with you. He gave you $300. Like, at least there's something there that separates you from the side person. But as a man, it's like, matter of fact, I got the short end of the stick because we both got her, but I got to pay. I got to protect her and lay down my life. You got the better end of the deal. You get to just see her when you want and send her back to me to take care of her. Oh, no. I'd rather be a side dude out here.
I guess that's why women get upset. And I'm just asking when they find out that he was taking care of her whole lifestyle.
Yes, that's the
Pissed.
equivalent. When she sees the bills on that card and it says apartment, and you're like, we ain't got no apartment. Who's paying for it? Card note. Yes, that's a similar thing, and that's when it goes left.
When he created a lifestyle for her.
Mm-hmm. And she lived down the street.
and she might have a kid or two that he was paying for the kid. And he was throwing dollars out. Now, you ain't see it in the account, but it all came out in the wash because you know when the blow up happens, she going to throw all that in your face.
Double life.
How you think this kid's in a private school? It was him.
Yeah, I think that's the equivalent right there. When if a woman goes through that, then we can talk. Because then it's like, yeah, I know how it feels for somebody to give everything they gave to you to somebody else.
But and that is the craziest thing for us in a lot of ways, even though she's your friend and she, you know, in an ideal way, she's your friend, she's your confidant, but you took what I thought was untakeable, was the thing that I hate to say it, but this is how we think, and it's not true. That belonged to me. It's like you took.
Your bodies, that's biblical, right? Your bodies belong to each other. It's the way you submit and everything.
It's crazy, but we have one gentleman, and you'll remember this MC who has a crazy story, Rhymefest, who actually won a Grammy and went homeless.
Jesus walks and all that, man.
Yeah, he went homeless, but he gave a different. He gave a different look on this. And here's his Rhymefest.
The one I got now, yes. Because what men don't do, we don't take into account the hurt we dole out. And if you take into account the hurt that you dole out and take the ego out of it, then we realize everybody human.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And if you think as a man, if we believe that as a man, there's redemption for all the cheating we do, why is there not redemption on the other side?
Yeah.
Black men, would you take your woman back?
So when you hear that, and this is what made it interesting, that these clips I was able to get, because sometimes they're so separate you never get to hear the other side. I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all. Every woman in my life that I dealt with had every right to cheat on me. They had every valid right to cheat on me. Everyone. And even with that being said, I still couldn't forgive somebody for doing the same thing to me. Think about it. Think what I just said. I did that to everybody.
You get it. You get it.
With
the car.
Think of how I'm celebrating a 1-year anniversary of sobriety, and think of how much work I still have to do. What I've done to other people, I can't accept being done to me. Now, I will never do that again to another person. But to have the line to go like, this is all the forgiveness you wanted all these years, and you can't give it back. There's a problem in my thinking.
Kind of crazy. It does.
That sounds kind of crazy.
You say it like that, Mike. when you frame it, no. And I believe in the redemption. I just don't know if the redemption needs to involve me.
Yeah.
You should find somebody that you deserve. You deserve better than me. You go ahead and you find you a man that's gonna treat you the right way. You know, like Johnny Gill. He's gonna rub you the right, and y'all should be happy for the rest of your life, even if I'm single. But I can't. I'm not gonna be able to do it.
And I totally understand when I said that. Y'all said, nigga, please. I know you did. I know you did. I know you wanted to. You did. I know.
Like everyone, Mike. Everyone.
This is the dysfunction of so many parts of my brain were programmed in a way that was so wrong, but seemed so normal to me. So when Ron Fest says we really don't want to deal with what we give out,
no, not at all.
We don't want to deal with what we actually give, and the like some people will call it karma. Like I got a problem. I don't have a problem, but karma it's weird to me. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, and sometimes I'm like, yeah, I get the karma and all that other song. But I know when I said what I just said, I know y'all were thinking this. I know y'all.
Motherfucking friends hate your bitches. And they're right. This ain't talking shit, no, that's just the fact.
And I know you're saying what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Well, not with this gander. Like I'm not that gander.
That should be a T-shirt.
I'm not that
the goose, but I'm not that gander.
I'm not that was good for the goose. I'm not that gander. I'm not that gander. So let me get to this. Nikki, I want to get to what you just put in here in the comments. Nikki celebrated a recent birthday. Mm-hmm. And I got to give you some background on let me find this. Sorry, I got to give you some background on it. I thought it was stay at where it was at. Nick, where you at, Nick? Where you at? Sorry. Damn, Nick. I thought I kept it right here because she made. Where you at? I'm so lazy. I'm about to tell Nick. Can you just type your comment again? Damn it. So I want to find this shit within. Like Smith Playground, Nick. Shit. How I see why Jay Black be going through. Miss Parker says lion break the trust. I don't think men can get past the physical part. I think a lot of men can't. Where is Nikki?
Yeah, I think she's right about that. There's a lot going on.
But what is it, women? How do y'all go about getting over that part?
Because a lot of women don't like men all like that anyway. They like what they can provide. That's what most older men tell younger men. You know, you only as good as what you could provide. Because once you stop working and stop being able to give and provide, the sentiment usually changes. I mean, it's the same twist with physical that it is with financial. Because the guy can walk into McDonald's as a millionaire, pretty woman, a chick, any given day. 99% of women would be like, hell to the no, never in it's not going to happen. I'm not going to be a multimillionaire picking up no valet parker unless it's for like an hour, like never. So no, there's a complementary difference where it's like there's things that they do that we can never figure out or rationalize, and vice versa. Because most women are like, why would you pick her, right? I got a PhD. I got it. No. You're missing the whole point of why we even wanted you. We wanted you because you're beautiful, and now you're mine, and you're beautiful in mine, and that's 80% of what's going on here. And with the women, it's the same way. If you didn't have a job, if you weren't able to provide, no matter how tall and all those other things they named, there's a lot of tall homeless guys. There's a lot of he's tall, he's thirsty, he got a six pack. You know who got a six pack? People who walk all day every day because they got no car and no place to live. They got everything you say is on your list. He's tall, he's handsome, he got a six pack, and he has no house. And guess what ends up happening? He doesn't even get change in his cup.
And I get what you're saying, but let's realize there's a large population of women who are dealing with broke dudes right now who are cheating, and they stay with them.
Yeah,
and they actually
homeless sexuals.
They actually take care of them. So let me get to this forgiveness. We're talking about forgiving. Nikki, I got to give you some background. Nikki said, I'm struggling with forgiving myself for what happened to me. Let me give you some background on this. When Nikki joined the show, Nikki was Nikki. She was still Nikki. And Nikki, if I'm overstepping boundaries, you have told the story. So I'm assuming that I can tell the story to Dr. Smith. I guess Nikki was partying one night when everything was, good. And got into a car wreck. I'll just keep it at that. And the car wreck almost took her life and took her ability to walk.
Wow.
So I'm not going to speak for Nikki. Nikki, when you say I'm struggling with forgiving myself for what happened to me, is that a situation where you're blaming yourself, where you think back to the choices that were made, which I used to make them every night. So I, and she's still in physical therapy now. And life has changed dramatically for her. Like life is not the same. But with her personality and what she's been able to accomplish, and seeing her when I see her in public, that's why I give you that hug, because you look amazing. But I just want to know, Nikki, is the struggle that you feel that you made a bad choice, that you feel that you are blaming yourself for your circumstances? Which is hard, because when my family broke apart, that's one thing that destroyed me, because I knew listen, nobody's 100% at fault for anything, but I was the major reason why my family fell apart.
Might have been pushing 90%.
Yeah, I'm pushing 90%. And if I had if I would have been able to communicate my feelings properly, I probably, the percentage that wasn't mine, we could have worked through it if I knew how to communicate and I had a sense of responsibility for certain things. So I don't know, Nick, if that is exactly what's going on, but we're always here to be super transparent. Will Smith in that spot. Let me get this. Me too, Doc. It's the lion for me. Ms. Clark, let me see. Asa said, yes, I can't stand a liar. You cannot trust anything that they say or do. Look in your face and tell a whole fake lie. Okay, Ashabu, you are 100% right. And I'm a smart ass, and this is probably something that came out my mouth while I was drinking that I took to the stage sometimes when people say, I can't believe you lied to my face. How else was I supposed to lie?
Behind your back.
When I was talking to you, would you have felt better if I looked away? That's
how you know people lying. If people look away, you say, "Hey, you look like you're dishonest." Where were you last night? Hanging out with Jay Black.
Yeah. But I understand what you're saying, Asha.
You know what they say after that? Look me in the eyes and tell me, Mike. Look me in my face and tell me that you was with Jay Black last night.
I was with Jay Black.
I was with Jay Black. Now you lie to their face.
It's a setup. It's a setup. Like, how am I supposed? A lie ain't gonna work unless I don't say it to your face.
I gotta look in the face. I gotta maintain eye contact while I'm saying the lie. Can't cut away real fast and look ashamed.
I've been told you said that you lied. Not only did you lie to my face, but you said it with conviction. Like you had, how am I supposed to get away with this? I'm supposed to be convincing.
Plus, you should let them know I got experience with this.
It's not
You
my
think it's
first.
my first time lying? I'm a professional. What do you expect from me? I've been in the game for years.
Oh man, Coco said if I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing and there's no reason to cheat, nah, I'm not forgiving shit. I think it also depends on what she did when she cheated. See, there goes the physical action. You want to know a detailed breakdown. You want to know the breakdown.
Be careful what you ask for.
And you really don't want to know the breakdown.
Be careful what you ask for.
Because cheating is cheating. Cheating is cheating. But for some reason, if it happens to come with some oral sex, some reason it changes everything. If it happened in a car, that changes. If it's a fancy spot, it changes everything. If it's in a grimy spot, it changes everything. No matter where it happened, it changes everything. It could be in a Honda Civic or it could be in the Four Seasons. So you did it. So he took you to the Four Seasons. You was all up in the Four. Oh, you slimy slut. You did it in a Honda Civic. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It really don't matter.
It really don't. We just don't want to hear it. He's speaking from what's HOM? Stop trying to speak for everyone, dude.
Him, I think it's a typo.
He's speaking for him. Who are you talking about? Who's speaking for him? I don't know who's speaking for him. Let me get
the
this.
other comment. It sounded like
I don't think men can get past the physical. I put that out there. I get it though. A man not being able to get past another man touching his lady in that way. Yeah.
Doing a lot more than touching.
Touching and you're reacting to it.
Yeah.
You react on the the details will kill you. I don't want details. No, and Asha, that's why you're brilliant. That's why you're brilliant. You're amazing.
Yeah, what you gonna do with them details anyway? What are you gonna do with them details? Ruminate and stew over it and play it back in your mind, like Mike said. Now you got a whole mental picture to play. You got in addition to the soundtrack, you got the visuals. So now you wake up in the middle of the night in cold sweats. Now you popping up every time she leave the house. You trying to put air tags in her purse and all this craziness.
It's bad enough. It's bad enough. You really forget the cheating. You really don't want to go anywhere that your person took their ex to, unless it's something that is absolutely like you can't say I'm not going to the airport because you took a flight with your ex. Like you can't say that, but you can say I really don't want to go to Miami because I know you went with your ex. But
well, I'm not swimming with you. I'm not getting in the pool with you. I remember that story. You talking about using the pool and infinity pool and last all night in infinity. I said, no. I ain't even taking a shower with you at that point. We just gonna be dirty. Somebody gotta take turns. I don't want nothing to do with watering you after hearing the details of you in the pool with the food. No,
that's bad enough. Asha said a lot of women have had to forgive men for cheating, lying, but when it comes to men, they cannot swallow their own medicine. And I wanted to know, is it because that's the way we were programmed? That we were programmed that women forgive. We were programmed that men possibly can cheat and that women forgive, and we weren't programmed the other way.
You're in trouble, Mike. Here you go. I hear the can opening. I hear the worms about to crawl out. I said, "Oh, Mike, I'm leaning away from the mic." I was with Jay Black. Go ahead, say it again, Mike. Go ahead, dude.
Isn't that how we were programmed? That a woman is supposed to forgive. The woman has an opportunity. A woman can forgive, but a man is not supposed to forgive that particular thing. Isn't that where
it's out there now? He said it.
I mean, am I wrong?
Well, you know what? You know how they have like bulls and heifers, right? You know, like even in breeding farms with black people, they take one man and he'd impregnate, 30 women. And they'll in nature, they'll have one bull and he'll impregnate, a whole herd, right? And the women, they compete for the man's affection, but it's really competing for the order that they get to be serviced in. Nobody's under the illusion that this man is not going to, or this bull, is not going to be with the other people. So just in terms of biology, yes, you can have one child every 10 months. I can have 1 million. I can literally put my
talk about opening a can of worms.
I'm just saying, biologically, you got a point, because biologically, yes, you're not supposed to look at me with the next heifer if you're the bull and be like, "Oh, I'm so shocked now. I can't have this." But you see what it is, right? And the farmers do too. The farmers don't bring a bunch of bulls. The farmers bring the best bull and be like, "Yo, all of them, that's you. Handle your business." Or maybe 1 or 2, all y'all. That's 40 Two of y'all can handle this. So there is the difference in the balance in nature.
I get that, but in nature, the nature that we created was that you get married and you take a bunch of you do a bunch of vows and you say
that's culture. That that's
okay,
culture and science.
That's culture and trained. I'm saying we are programmed that if even a woman who goes to her friend, and let's say the friend that she goes to really thinks that this man is a good man, but he made a mistake. She may say, you know what? He is a good man. He made a mistake. Go to one of your boys.
She a good woman.
Go to one of your. Go to one.
What do you mean by good? Who told you she was good? The dude who had her last night?
She could be an amazing mom. She could be she could have held you down through the broke stages. She could have been your ride or die. Your boy is not gonna say, she is a good woman.
She a good woman. That's her rating on Yelp for the dude she's running around with.
But
here's your woman back. She good.
But see, you're the reason why God can't forgive.
Hey, yo, Mike, your woman. Hey, yo, Mike. You got a good one, Mike. You need to, Mike. You lucky man. You need to stay with him, Mike.
See, Dr. Smith. See, you're the reason. You're the reason why man can't forgive.
That's what they gonna say every time you go to functions and all the guys are there.
Okay,
yo, Mike. You know they're gonna do Mike with.
Okay, so what if your boy actually said that and said, dog, what she did is despicable. What she did is crazy. But if this was a one-time thing, she is a good person. She made a mistake. We will never get that balanced response from one of our dudes. No. I wouldn't even tell Jay Black if I found out. I wouldn't even tell him. I would just be like, we broke up. And he'd be like, and Jay might be like, y'all broke up? What happened? Nah, long story. If I say long story, Jay gonna go like, oh, it's a lie. All right.
You don't want to know the details, just like I shouldn't ask for the details.
I should not have asked for the details. I should not. So Coco said, and this is another testosterone-filled comment, and I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying I would think the same thing. You can't take her back knowing she talked in his microphone.
Oh, shoot.
Microphone
check 1, 2. What is this?
Yeah.
My mic sounds right. 1, 2. Cock 2. My mic sounds right. Cock 2. Cock 2 a girl. My mic sounds right. Oh, gosh. No, we good. We good. I mean, just have a good life. Like the lease ain't up for another 2 months. You can even stay here. Like we it's not even about a beef at that point. Like we good though. Like we both gonna keep it moving.
That's a bad way to rationale though on women's part. Just being the man's hoe has compensation. I guess his compensation isn't great. Ashabu, that is the very deep diabolical cut that all people that have been cheated on have to go through. And this was done by someone who was supposed to be in love with you. Even more diabolical.
Yeah, it's not about the sex on some levels. You're right. It's about that betrayal. It's about that respect. Like, there's so many other things that are shattered. Because like even the comment about the whole thing, it's like, no, it's not. You might be missing a part of it. If you think it's really like, oh, somebody had sex with somebody, it's like, no, somebody betrayed somebody, somebody played somebody got somebody looking real crazy out here, and somebody's gonna make somebody the laughing stock of the group or the town or the social. Like it's a lot going on. Even if I forgive, if I'm walking in space and everybody's looking at me like, now I gotta forgive that too. Like, maybe I forgave you, but I don't forgive them. So now I'm about to fight. Yeah, somebody's laughing in my face to have my girl, and that has nothing to do with you. This is just two men playing with each other in each other's face, and I'm not gonna let nobody play in my face, whether it was about you or somebody that I was just with for one night. So back up. And you're like, oh, why are you still thinking about it? Now you just don't understand what's going on. It's sometimes it's just
and that is the mental thing that goes in our brain that is so unhealthy, because playing in your face actually is, and I get it. But the playing in your face can lead to the same thing you were talking about, of being part of the court system.
Oh yeah,
and all that other good stuff. Random Rick, let me just give Random Rick the appreciation for this joke. He said, "Just don't invite Cypher to your 1-year celebration." For Fearless, if you don't know, I was at a comedy show and Coco forgot that I don't drink, and he had a bottle of Henny in a brown bag at a show that I was doing. He said, hey, "You want a little something?" That's what.
I rebuke you, Satan. What are you coming in doing?
Asha said, "This is why I have never cheated. It causes so much damage to the person
It
you're
does.
with. I will leave before I ever cheat." And I respect you for that. I definitely respect you for that.
No, that is that's definitely the answer. If there's a good answer, leave before you cheat. If you really feel that way, and if you have any respect for the person, if you care about the person at all, move on.
Is there a difference between a woman's body getting penetrated and
Oh my
a
God,
man
yeah,
doesn't?
graphic.
Jesus, all right. Am I wrong, ladies, for looking at it like that?
That might be part of it. It might be part of it.
A lot of men will say that. A lot,
For some
and
people, yeah.
I get that weird theory. I get it. That's what's funny. It's not weird to me. I get it.
No, I see what he's saying.
Yeah, when the dude said if she goes, did she go raw and everything like that? And good morning.
But the women could flip it and be
Thank
like,
you,
that
thank
means
you, thank you.
the men are more to blame because the men are actually going ahead and doing that when the women are, more so passive in the act, even if there's, they're consenting, but there's more passive activity possible. Now they can do different, ways where the woman is more engaged. I understand that, but traditionally, the man is actually doing the act to a greater extent in most people's minds. Like you said, the way that most people conceive of this is like he's doing her.
No, that who the hell? I'm sorry, y'all. Hold up. I be getting some weird.
It don't change whether I'd stay with the person at all. I don't,
But and this is another angle. It all hurts, but this is the one that when it catches you for real, totally, it blindsides you. When the relationship in your mind seems to be good and solid. Now, it's one thing if y'all at each other's neck and y'all hanging up on FaceTime every other night and y'all are going at it and she runs out and she be hanging out with her girls and you be hanging out with your boys and it's one thing if that's still going to get you because you always think there's a line that's not going to be crossed. But when you think everything is good, where you had there were no clues or anything.
No, definitely.
That one is hurtful. Good morning. They're all hurtful. And thank you again. For me, it's not the physical thing, it's the emotional time that he gives away. It's treating her like me or better. Oh, okay. All right. I told you the ego. I told you even women got that ego. Tall homeless guys. Yeah, that's hilarious. Go out there, ladies. Get you one of them in shape meth heads. Laugh out loud.
Or like that brother, what's the guy's name? The Jeremy dude, where he was in prison. Remember, he was the prison bae. The light skinned dude. He acts now. Now he's modeling, but he got locked up. His picture got
he married
posted.
the billionaire chick. Like she was.
It came up, Now he's doing Tubi movies and modeling and all kind of stuff. So maybe some people are the exception to that rule. Some people are haircut away.
All right, Nikki wanted to respond to what we talked about earlier. She said, "Yes, Mike, I totally blame myself, and yes, I definitely made a horrible choice that I didn't think would happen to me. I drove drunk a lot, and never in a million years." And Nick, I'm with you. I'm with you. I was there. It's probably one of the most dangerous things, and I've repeated this over and over. I thank God that I didn't kill somebody while I was drinking and driving like that. And that is a tough. I'm not a therapist, Nick. I'm not a therapist. I'm not well versed in Bible verses. I will just say I will give you a little bit of what when I get mad and I know the situation. I went from owning properties to working at a UPS mail store, right? Hustling, rocking with y'all. And I always think, and please don't take this the wrong way, so I'm trying to be careful. I always think sometimes we are blessed that God decides to sit our asses down. You got to sit down. You have to sit down. I was saying that
yesterday, yep.
Because the road you're on, if I don't sit you down.
Did you a favor. You would have crashed out for real.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to give you a chance to stay on this planet in the physical form. I've decided to give you a chance by sitting you down. And literally, I'm going to give you this time to think and how you plan to move on from here.
And spare you, literally.
And I understand, Nick, that in your case, when I say sit your ass down, it takes a different meaning because you're fighting to rehab to walk again. But there's something that God wanted to slow us down and gave us another opportunity. Once again, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a friend. Giving you just the only part I can relate to. Because when I walk into that, I'm telling you, there are many times when I go into that job, I still get a feeling in my chest like, God, what did you do, Mike? And then I have
how'd
to
you get here?
how did I get here? How did I put this name tag on? And I have to remind myself that this was where I'm supposed to be. And the building blocks are now. Take that for what you want to take it. You know how much love we got for you, Nick. We know how much love we got you. How else was I supposed to lie? Yeah. I'm just telling you. Lie to the wall. Yeah, I don't know how else. No, it would have been better if you had told the truth, face forward or not. And listen, people, that's another regret. Why? But it's not a regret. The culture I was raised in, the environment I was raised in, this was normalized. That this is what you do. I'm talking from the time I was like 9 or 10 years old. I heard older men tell me you're supposed to have a woman in the streets and a woman in the house.
Wow.
That's what I was told. That is not excusing any of the ridiculous, harmful shit that I did. I'm just telling you. In the pool with the fool. I don't know.
Earlier when I was talking about the story, you don't want the story now. You don't even want to take showers with it. Like you said, you can't go to Miami.
Oh yeah.
You know too much about the details.
I don't know about being programmed, but how many men of the Bible had just one woman? I'll wait. I don't know.
That's a good point. Yeah, Solomon had many wives. There's a lot of stories like that. Yeah, people take. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. Ash, what ass? Yup, we are programmed that way. The men are just being men, and we're expected to be understanding. Okay.
But back in the day, I think also one of the major differences is that the other people knew. You know, it doesn't.
Yeah,
say
that's
like,
a big difference.
Yeah, it doesn't say Solomon had many wives that he kept from the other women. It's just like everybody
he
knew
had
what
them
it was.
stored away. Like I don't know where Solomon was at, so I'm just making this as he ain't have them stored away like in North Jerusalem. Like
only you at the temple. Yeah, no, you're right though. It's different if people know what's going on. That does change. That it's not so much about the cheating. A lot of people I think focus too much on the act, and not the disrespect or the betrayal or the dishonesty.
Programming is that women are supposed to be submissive and just take whatever men do. Men are the dominant ones that can say and do anything, and women are supposed to accept it. Okay, all right, Miss.
Yeah, we have. I think I agree that we've definitely perverted the definitions of leadership and dominance and submission.
Ooh, we have. Yeah, we have.
And she hit the nail on the head with that. Submission don't mean I mistreat you and you accept it. But yes, I think she's absolutely right that a lot of men have intentionally perverted the definition of words like submission to exploit and take advantage of women they want to objectify and abuse. I can't even argue that one because I see it all the time.
And listen, character is something. Listen. Character just wasn't something that was stressed upon me, and your character and your word meaning something. When they said your word
is bond,
is bond, they always said it in a way that you were talking to another man. When you tell a man something, you stand on that.
Scarface. All I got is my words and my word. Won't break it for nobody.
Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
We were never given the same lecture. When you tell your wife something,
good point.
When you tell your wife something, that is your word. When you tell your wife you are going here, she has nothing to worry about. That is supposed to be your word. But that is not the fancy thing you got. That wasn't glamorized. That wasn't the thing. That was, you know what I'm saying? Like you just don't. And even when Jay-Z makes the album saying how wrong he was for everything he did with Beyonce and in the marriage and that he could have caused a miscarriage, the problem with it, I think, is his greatest album ever. That's me. 444 is to me, maybe because it hit me in a place where I was like more mature and I could deal with it, but at his peak of his superpowers, I don't mean his financial status because I get it. But at the peak of his influential superpowers in the culture, that is not what he was saying.
Oh yeah, he's like, work with the little Debbies when you done, get ready. Some bad chicks ain't gonna get past the bridge, right? He said, he can't see that I'm growing. I was so immature. He said he used to have him leave before 6 a.m, like and repeat the cycle with the club and all that. Yeah, he was terrorizing him. He was a terror.
And unfortunately, when he dropped what I thought was so revealing that I was like, damn. But then again, it's just the constructs of life. That was where he was at that moment.
Yeah. And the beautiful part is that's what people are talking about when they critique some of these microwave artists who are trapped in these perpetual cycles of appealing to the youth and making this disposable music. Not to bring up Drake, but that's the thing. Well, everybody's kind of reached the point where we understood we're never getting a 444 from Drake unless he hits rock bottom first. Like you said, be sat down. Now that Drake has been sat down, who knows what the future holds? Because one day Drake might really give an album about his ego and being biracial and from Canada and the trouble with women and missing his dad. Drake might give us all that and make a classic. But until he got sat down, he wasn't giving us that. We needed this to happen first. We needed Not Like Us to happen.
And that my friend, the content he has, and I know we're veering off of different things, and the show's a lot shorter today. The content that he has sitting in front of him, I hate to say it, I don't understand because it's not for this, but it is for this. It's a gold mine of content that's sitting in what he's going through. Is a testimony and a writer's dream to go. I'm gonna say it.
I was the king. I was number one, and now the whole world is singing A minor. My own Toronto is packing out 70,000 people in the concert, hating on me. Nobody knows how that feels. Like I'm saying, you letting us into a space where
nobody
knows King's disease stuff. Like Nas, we will never understand how it feels to be that high up and to come that far down. Very few people have ever experienced that in that amount of time. You have that story. Like I said, you have that ability to tell that story genuinely and make money off of it. But you're about to give us another Tootsie Slide type Kiki energy and wonder why we not, rocking with you the way we did 2 years ago. And they're gonna blame us.
And you never know. He may not have that talent. And listen, he's already done. He's going to be financially secure for the rest of his life. He made that. Some artists aren't built to let you in. They don't. Maybe there's not a ghostwriter that you can get to actually write that for you.
Yeah, and I don't think he's faced it. No, I don't think he's honest enough about what has happened, or like you said, why it's happened, to even look for the guy. Because I know that Missing You by the Biggie Smalls dedication was written by Sauce Money. So Sauce Money saw the relationship enough to, speak for Puffy. But people might be able to speak for Drake. But if Drake ain't checking for it, or Drake don't think that's where he's at, he don't need no ghostwriter to write nothing like that.
But even with the Sauce Money, like if Biggie would have survived the gunshots, then we would have heard.
Oh yeah, no, that would have been an album. That would have been All Eyes on Me.
Then we would have
heard
from
the hospital bed energy. Oh my gosh, that'd be a whole different Biggie.
Set up by
most people after they get shot. Think about 50 Cent and all that. After you get shot, it's a whole
nother story. Random Rick says, "Yeah, you probably don't want me to come talk to me about you for the street girls." I guess Random been through something, but Random is all good. We all been through something. Hey, I was told it's because men conquer women. So for men, it's unforgivable that you let another man conquer you. Yeah, that word, conquer.
Yeah, that's touchy subject right there.
That word.
I cringed on that one. Dr.
Smith, stupid. For me, it's definitely the betrayal. You broke my trust. That's what I would have the biggest issues with. Yes, I think we're
that's the hardest thing to get back, right? Because we can always get back exclusive, like you said, in a minute. Like I said, that was one time thing. Okay, that part we've already cleared up. You're not going to do it again, and I actually believe you, and I think you are. But like you said, that to rebuild the trust,
dude, rebuilding the trust is so crazy. And let me tell you something. When you're trying to rebuild the trust, what you have to understand, if you want to stay in a situation where you're trying to rebuild the trust and you're the one who broke it, what you're about to face is going to be unfair, but fair got thrown out the window. And you have to put the line, you have to decide what the line is. Because there are people who still don't trust me with this alcoholism. And I get it.
Not for you.
I get it. I understand.
They're like, today is good, but
people who are so entrenched in my heart still go like, Mike, stay focused. You're not going out there to do something. What are you talking about? But I have to understand. So when you're trying to rebuild trust, understand you gotta actually look at how many years you were untrustworthy.
Yeah.
12 months ain't shit compared
At least a half or a quarter of the time that you are untrustworthy, it'll take for you to get the trust back.
Exactly.
Maybe not day for day, but at least like between the 25% and a third of the time. If you was untrustworthy for 10 years, you got to give people 3 years of grace. For the first couple of years, they are going to be like, I don't know, because it was 10 years you was wild.
and sometimes as the person, and sometimes there's another angle as the person who's wanting to be forgiven, and the person is attempting and they want to try again. You have to ask yourself, is this fair to make this person now sit for the next 3 years and try and figure out if the person that they're retrusting is really the person? Because they are now, if they take this time to trust you, and you fuck up again, you really have wasted this person's kindness.
And that goes both ways. Because
Yep.
let's say the person does get right. The person has to really ask themselves and search their soul and be like, am I going to be able to get over it? What if she never cheats again? What if he never cheats again? What if they totally change and give their life to God and all this other stuff? What if they do agree to wear an ankle monitor, whatever it is that makes you so-called feel better? Some people really got to ask themselves, if I got all that and 3 years went by or whatever amount of time, some people really got to search their soul and let the person go, because they might have to really admit, I'm not okay no matter what you do.
Right.
You got to be anybody. I think that's where I am. I'm like, you know what? It's not you, it's me. It was you when you got caught cheating. But
it's
now
me.
2 years later that you're not cheating, you're acting right, and I'm still bitter, and I'm still asking you questions about what happened and details. Now I'm the problem. So we do got to break up, and it's it's not you, it's me.
Sometimes cheating is impulsive, not always premeditated, where you have time to lead the relationship. There's always clues. That's why you need to randomly spot check that phone. Boy,
Lord,
if Jay Black was here, that is Jay Black right there. Jay Black used to do cell phone checks. I won't say he used to do cell phone checks on people that wasn't doing nothing. That's all I'm saying.
No, come on. No, if you don't trust, no. Who want to be there? I don't want to be investigating nobody. If I don't trust you, I should leave. I'm good. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing. Let me find out what this doing. Let me check on you. Let me scroll down here. Okay, who Mark?
When you try to get back in good graces, you got to come home and put your cell phone on the kitchen table.
Yeah. If we're gonna do it, we got to do it at this point. And I think age means a lot. I'm saying this as a person with an AARP card. I'm not saying this at 25. I wouldn't say it. And I know there's somebody listening who's like 30 something and they're not agreeing. And I know, I get it. We probably, me and Mike were both different then. But I'm saying at this age, I don't got no time to be hiding from you or investigating you. I'm too old for both.
Yeah, I don't have any time for that.
I'd rather take a nap at this age. Like that.
I'm good.
I can use that time better ways. I can rest in the middle of the day.
I'd rather take a nice walk, put my headphones on, and enjoy the sun, and go, okay, Asha, this is when Asha says this. Asha, listen,
I ain't spending an hour trying to break a password code and nothing like that. Like,
and I've been there. Asha, even though I haven't gone through a person's phone. I will say that, but that's because of laziness.
Asha,
care enough. Let me read this. Asha said, they get out of bed with you in the morning, eat breakfast with you, drop you off to work with a tender kiss on the cheek.
Have a good day there.
And then an hour later, on top of another person.
Don't stop, Pop Gun. That breakfast was good. Diabolical. I was like, how you know my life? No, I'm just kidding. Somebody feeling convicted right now. Breakfast just ended an hour ago. Somebody probably turned off the podcast feeling like that was your confirmation. Get off her.
Let me explain to you something. When a woman gives you a detailed scenario like that, that means something went on similarly.
Yeah, not just a kiss. Not just a kiss. Tender.
A tender
kiss. Before I cheat.
There wasn't no smiley emojis at the end. There wasn't no crying, laughing. No. There was number exclamation points on that. I see. I feel you.
Yeah, I think my energy can be spent better ways now. That's how I really feel. Like even when I heard that story, I thought to myself, Mike, that takes a lot of work. All that deception takes a lot of energy and planning, and I'd rather pay some bills, man. Like, I ain't got time to be strategizing to fool you. Like Hey, single.
Nigga said, I agree 100%. He set my ass down. Mike, you preaching to
You said a bunch of us
today.
down.
So true. And back to Asha's comment.
Hey, don't hit men are diabolical. She gonna put all men in it. The can opened up. Yeah, the men.
What we doing, Kay?
Not men.
What we doing,
men.
Kay?
You can put a man some on that. Joke.
We over here trying to have a dialogue. What we doing? What
Shots fired, right?
Take my
Everybody
head.
with a penis caught a strike.
Diabolical. But Asha, that sounded like something you went through, and I really feel bad for that because I don't think men are actually taught how hurtful the thing is. A reason for your season. Okay, reason for your season. Good God, / a good father always chastise the children he loves to save them and to help them get on a right and better road.
Yeah, God sit you
God
down.
be the glory.
Sit you down.
I was about to say something. I lost it that fast.
Go back to the last quote, maybe. No, before that. The one before that you were saying.
Facts, Mike. A lot of men groomed young boys and young men into being cheaters, players, and jiggers. No, those are facts.
Yeah, they misled us. Yeah.
How many times have I said on this show, we were misled?
Mm-hmm.
We were misled to run these streets.
And think it was cool. Yeah.
We thought it was a quantity. Run out. Gotta go, y'all. I'm taking my driver's test. Oh, you taking the driver's test? Oh, congratulations. Go get it. Go make that happen, girl. Just because people did things back in biblical times doesn't mean God approved or condoned it. He was pointing out their sins as well. Oh, man.
Good point. No, that's a good point, though. Yeah. Because there's a whole lot in the Bible that wasn't right. People do say that it was in the Bible. There's a whole lot of murders and rapes and all kind of, cheating in the Bible too. So.
Look at this motherfucker. I trust you with the alcoholism, Mike. Really? Was that you were showing me your trust?
Wait, are you trusting with the sobriety? You don't trust him with the alcoholism? You're supposed to trust him with the sobriety. I trust you with the alcoholism. Wait, I'm trying not to have the alcoholism. I'm trying to
leave. Stacey Mitchell going down a dangerous road. She asking, I don't know, she must be asking you or asking me, how often do you get to throw it in your face once you forgive? You get to throw it in a person's face until they say they're not going to take it no more.
Yeah, because some people just keep it going.
And you have every right to throw it in their face.
As like Chris Rock said, when you're in the car, you're going to make a right. Did you make a right with that bitch? Like, wait a minute. We just driving somewhere. Did you eat bacon with that bitch?
There's no real answer. That's because he passed your test. Like, yeah, I passed the test. I passed the Henny. Even though I wasn't a Henny drinker ever in my life, I would drink it. If you really forgive them, you shouldn't throw it back in their face. If you do, you didn't really forgive.
Yeah, some people want people to just stick around just to punish them. Some people want people to stick around for the get back.
Shit, no.
They don't want to own that part though.
I'm not the problem. You're gonna catch it every now and again, Stacey.
It's how you catch it too, because you can catch it with a little slick comment, a little joke. But some people like rehash it, relive it, want to have a full out argument. I think there's a difference. A little shot once in a while, yeah. You earn that. You earned a little comment, a little joke, a little shot, but not like all out kick you out.
I don't know what year. What year does it go where you go like, nah, chill, like nah, I'm good. Like stop. I didn't pay my debt.
No, I told you. I think at least like 25% or a third of the time. If you was wilding for a year, I think 4 to 5 months later, you should probably chill out with the comments.
Look at this one.
You got a little grace period for 3 months.
Look at Kay gonna justify. She gonna say she not now. Let me read this comment. Let me break this down. Now, I'm not phone checking anymore. I passed that stage in life. That means it's gone, right? Past means it's gone. That means it's in the past. That means it's over there. It's over there. It's over there. Then she says, I'm just saying, if the scenario fits, spot check them.
She's saying for other people. She's saying she's past it. So she's not going to be in that scenario.
Stacey Mitchell said in the beginning, I did check the phone, but after 12 years, I don't care to do that. Yeah, now 12 years.
Yeah, what we doing? Yeah.
That's a new person.
You usually got a check from AT&T or 12 years of phone checking. You should be certified.
Miss Parker said forgiveness is a process. It doesn't just happen. I get it, Stacey, though.
No, it is a process.
All right. Let me get this.
Works in progress.
I see why JB skipping some of these because they a lot. I've never snooped in someone's phone or pockets. I don't have the desire or time for that. God revealed and exposed.
It do be coming out. It do become. I don't care if it's a Diddy party, like it's whatever people are doing. You know, R. Kelly was in his basement, but he was dumb enough to have the camera. Like it all comes out. Catholic priests, whatever it is. I said it with the politicians earlier. It's all gonna come out.
It's all gonna come out. All right. I'm so sorry the show was so. Listen, man, I ain't get to play my drops. Listen, I apologize.
We helped somebody though. I think somebody probably figured out they too old for all this cheating. You can't be dyeing your hair and planning your cheating. You like at some point you gotta focus your energy. I get some condoms and some medium brown, just for men. And some condoms. Wait. One or the other, bro. One or the other. You can't get the Ben Gay and get the lube. Like what do we?
All right, before I go, I always find these crazy commercials. Oh, you stupid. I always find these crazy commercials, right? Just to let you know how crazy society was back in the day. When people say, it was so good back in the day, it ain't like the way it used to be, and everybody. This is what I mean, that there's never a happy medium. When people get upset, when people try and say, gay people try and put their lifestyle on us, and they try and make us this, and they try and make us that. I'm not going down that rabbit hole, but I've heard people say, I'm tired of being forced. I'm tired of being forced to live your agenda. Then you realize there was a time when on TV, way back in the day, way back when it was black and white TV, there were commercials like this actually playing, y'all. Just check this out.
Public restrooms can often be a hangout for the homosexual. Bobby and his friends hadn't noticed the man who had been in the restroom when they changed, and as it was late, he suggested they take the shortcut under the pier, but the others preferred to take the more traveled way home.
Listen to the music.
When Bobby recognized the stranger as the man in the restroom, the shortcut under the pier didn't seem like a good idea at all. After all, it's more fun to stay with your friends anyway. Bobby had made a wise decision. It may have saved his life. One never knows when the homosexual is about. He may appear normal, and it may be too late when you discover he is mentally ill. So keep with your group, and don't go off alone with strangers.
That was the commercial, dude.
Have the
viral with that. It's tragic. Like the title alone, kids, watch out for the homosexuals. Like, wow.
That was the commercial.
It's crazy. And they wonder why people were in the closet. They wonder why people were cutting themselves and taking their own lives and depressed and all that. Because that's, the DSM would describe all the diseases, had that listed as a mental illness. And then you're looking at TV and they got these PSAs. Then you got people getting bashed and beat down in the streets and the village and all this. Yeah, it can be depressing. Yeah. So even if you disagree with the lifestyle, you might not disagree with people, having the right to a life. Like, that's constitutional. You shouldn't be.
It was crazy.
Kids are taking their own lives based on that. That was the culture that led to a lot of the depression, anxiety, and suicide that we see still today.
And there's a lot more to that, but we got to wrap it up. Listen, you gonna be here tomorrow, or you chilling?
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Thursday.
Yeah, I can probably jump on.
Jump on tomorrow. I don't know if Jay Black. I think Jay Black's gone all week. So Financial Rebel will be on tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have Dr. Smith tomorrow. I'll see if Monty feels better. Thank you for everybody who gave the well wishes for Monty to feel better. Nikki White Chocolate, good luck with the driver's test, and also happy belated birthdays to everybody going through something. Hold on, because God got us. Love me for who I am, not who you want me to be, because I can never be that. Understand there's only one thing in life that's guaranteed. It will end. So enjoy every minute, every second. You fight for everything in your life. Fight for your happiness. Never let anyone, anything, or any circumstance take it from you. Once again, God got us. From Michael Sean, Dr. Aaron Smith, a.k.a. Fearless. For Jay Blizzy Black, Sexy Mo, Hasi Chung, Amani, Kamari, and everybody who rocks with Takeover. Lady Q. WokeUpInspired.com. WokeUpInspired.com. Get the merch. Get the customized merch. You want the coffee mugs? Go to WokeUpInspired.com. We are gone. Gone there.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend, where the truth hurts, but also makes